What is recovery? Recovery from addictions is a process. It's considered by addictionologists to be a lifelong process because once you've enhanced your brain with a neural pathway, it never is retired. You can put it to sleep, but the minute that you light a cigarette, for instance, with tobacco addiction, you fire that neural pathway up again. So it's a process of recovering from the need to medicate our way through the day, the need to medicate our relationship to the world we live in. So recovery is a process, and it's about getting well and becoming well without the need to support ourselves with addiction medication. I want to tell you a story to illustrate the core idea of what is recovery. I travel all over North America and train healthcare providers on how to treat tobacco addiction. And lately I've been doing work in addiction centers that are alcohol, opiates, cocaine, and methamphetamine. And I'm teaching them how to treat tobacco in that context. So I'm down in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, just outside of a beautiful place called Doylestown. And I'm teaching 90 people how to treat their patients' tobacco addiction. And it's going so well that John, the moderator, asked me if I would speak at a Nicotine Anonymous meeting. In most other areas of our culture, 12-step has not played a big role in tobacco addiction directly, although alcoholics after 5 years of sobriety often spontaneously recover from tobacco addiction using what they've learned about the program and about themselves. So I went along for the ride, and I'm chairing the meeting, and I turn to my left and go around the group and ask each to introduce themselves and tell us why you're here. The first person was a young model from New York City, because Bucks County's not far from Manhattan. And she said, well, I'm just here to quit smoking because my boyfriend wants me to quit, and turned it over to the man next to her. And he said, well, he wants to support his girlfriend. He doesn't want to have a relationship with somebody who smokes. And then I went on and around, and I noticed this man on the right-hand side, off to my right. He was pushing himself up from the table, and he'd breathe in. And he'd push himself up and breathe in. So when I got around to him, I said, sir, I see that you're in some distress, respiratory distress. He said, yes. I've been diagnosed with lung cancer, and I only have 3 weeks to live. Right away, this young lady from New York City jumped in, and she said, man, what are you doing here at a 12-step meeting? You should be out drinking Heinekens, drinking whiskey, and smoking Marlboros. And he looked over at her, and he kept his breathing and his talk like this, in rhythm with his ability to breathe, and he said, young lady, I only have 3 weeks to be a free man on this planet. You wouldn't want to take that away from me, would you? No one in that room ever smoked again. And we all learned a fundamental lesson about recovery. That recovery is not about being better than anyone else. It's not about achieving anything, even health status. The real goal of recovery is to become free. And at Libertas, we have a saying, Pax Libertas, the peace of freedom. The peace that being free from all addictions brings to the human spirit is profound. And I wish that for you.